Shalom and good day all, this is Tehillim29 back again for another DC review, and in this review I'll be covering Night Terrors, Superman issue 1, and also last week's issue of Night Terrors, Green Lantern. And I'll probably do this again with the next one when it comes out, or when the next two come out, so I'll wait for the week after, when the second issue of Night Terrors comes out, and I'll do it again alongside with Superman. So I'll now get things organized to cover the review for Night Terrors, Superman. Moving into first things first, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? In some essence, I'd have to say not really, and I think a better cover could have actually been chosen for this, to which I give it a 6.5 out of 10. And yeah, Joshua Williamson, choice for the main cover, not a very good choice. I don't know if you chose it or the editor chose it, but I think you need to make better choices here. Just saying. So now it's time to move into the internal art as we look around the beginning, middle and end, and also what's happening story-wise. So as the story begins, we see Superman, and we're introduced to the Man of Screams, who is actually in this nightmare universe of such, and we are brought into a bit of old-fashioned art here, which I really quite like. And I wonder if it will continue in the next issue. And of course we see Perry White, Lois Lane, of course Jimmy Olsen. As we jump towards the middle, we finally meet the Man of Screams, who is trying to do the best he can to, I guess, outshine Superman, being the villain of this nightmare. And as we move towards the end, we get the appearance of Supergirl, making her arrival to meet up with Clark Kent, or Kal-El, and we can see for some particular reason she has managed to sort of break through her nightmare to go into Kal-El's. So for the internal art, I gave it a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move in relation to the story. So first things first, did we get any time references or anything in relation to time when this was taking place with the character? Not at all. The next is the locations that we saw within this nightmare world. We saw the Hall of Justice, we saw Metropolis, we also saw the Superman Corp in this, and also the Daily Planet. We also saw Superman, Wonder Woman, Deadman, Batman, Harley, Lois Lane, Jimmy Olsen, Perry White, Lex Luthor, Mercy, Insomniac, of course the Man of Screams, Supergirl, and last but not least, the character of Aquaman, to which it looks like he is going to be playing a very prominent part in the next issue. For the overall story writing in this, I gave it a 6.5 out of 10. I do think it could probably be a little bit more sharper in the context. So now it's time to move into Green Lantern, or Night Terrors, Green Lantern. So as we move into the Night Terrors, Green Lantern, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? Sure enough it does, to which I give it a 7 out of 10. So that's a big improvement. If I were to compare it to the Joshua Williamson one, and yes, what you see here does actually connect to something that is happening inside with the story. So now we'll move into the story as we look around the beginning, middle and end, and also what's happening story-wise. So as the story begins, whilst Hal Jordan's in the plane, he ends up going to a flashback of his past, and we get to see his connection to his Jewish heritage, which I think is really nice. And one good thing I will put about this: excellent job with the art done here. As we jump towards the middle of the story, we see Hal Jordan coming against a nightmare version of Arbon Sur, and we get to see quite a bit happening in regards to their characters. And last but not least, towards the end, there is a backup story here, but I will be rating it a part of this main story. And just to show some of the art here, it's actually having to do with Sinestro having a bit of a nightmare of his own, to which he ends up becoming a Green Lantern once again. For the internal art, I gave it a 7 out of 10. Again, really probably about the same in regards to what the Night Terror Superman got. So now it's time to move in relation to the story. So first things first, did we get anything time related? About the only thing that we sort of got time related was a bit of a flashback, and also now, which was used in the story. The next thing is the key locations that played a part in this. We had the synagogue, which was seen in the flashback. We had the plane, a hangar, and of course, with it taking place in Coast City. The key cast of characters that made an appearance in this were Hal Jordan, Arbon Sur, Kilowog, we got to see, Parallax, we got to see, and of course, last but not least, Sinestro. For the overall story rating in this, I gave it a 7 out of 10. Until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.